creating a real-time streaming dashboard. The technology parts are simple. You use something like Kafka, Kinesis, real-time streaming tools, a database that collects that data, such as like Redis, which is in memory, it caches the data, and then you can always use something like Mode or Power BI to dashboard the data, right? Where you used code in between to transform the data, SQL, right? Whatever the case is, Python. The bigger question here though is, do you actually need a real-time streaming dashboard? Because oftentimes it could just be the dashboard uploads every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, right? Which is actually not real time. Real time is like every little second. So there's actually not that many cases where you actually need a real-time dashboard. Now, when I used to work at Amazon, we used to have one for, overall sales of the company. That was important because if we ever saw a dip, we would get an alert and we would know that something is broken with the Amazon website. So that reason that's important is because Amazon is making billions of dollars in sales per second, or I don't know what the math is, per day probably. So chances are, if you're thinking about creating a real-time streaming dashboard, I would just think twice, because chances are you don't need it.